Welcome to part 8 of our series of questions on what happens when you are sued by a debt buyer, a debt collector in Alabama. So what we're going to talk about here is what is the complaint or the statement of claim? And then we'll look at examples of each of these. So statement of claim we normally think about in Alabama small claims court. Basically every small claims case in Alabama has to have a statement of claim. It just tells you what the lawsuit is about, but not much detail. The complaint is optional, and that gives you a lot more details. And so let's go ahead and look at just one example here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So this is LVNV funding. You know, they file 1,000 or more cases a month in Alabama. And so this whole document here, let me go back to this, is the statement of claim, okay? And so it's one page, and it just says $624, breach of agreement, open account stayed, and or medical services rendered. I can promise you it's not medical services rendered. And then they say it's $64 in court costs. That's really it. And we used to only get this sort of complete lack of information. But now they give us a little bit more. So they say, hey, this is a Credit One bank. Here's the last 4 digits. Obviously, I've redacted out the personal information. And then they say you, the defendant, defaulted. The account was assigned to plaintiff who has a right to bring this act. That is obviously a big, big deal. If you've watched any of my videos, you know we're always talking about they have to prove that they, the debt buyer, own this debt. They say they're the debt buyer. They say they bought it. But can they prove that they bought it? And then they say the issuer, and that's the original creditor, mailed you monthly statements and required to notify issuer of disputes and then demanded payment. And so here's first cause of action. Cause of action is what's called the legal vehicle. It's just how we get from the plaintiff suing you to the money. All right. So they say, well, here's how we're doing it. It's breach of contract. Okay. And then here's another one, money had and received. And there should be a final one here on the next page, account stated. All right. And it tells you what they're suing you for. Then they give you this affidavit. Okay. And so the affidavit is designed to say, see, LVNV really owns this debt. You really owe it. And you owe the exact amount we're suing you for. And so they talk about here's the Credit One bank. Here are all the companies that this went through. So think about it. It went from Credit One to MHC Receivables LLC and FNBM LLC. Now, did it go to 2 companies at the same time, or did it go to MHC to FNBM? Then went to Credit Asset Sales LLC, then Resurgent Acquisitions LLC. And I'll tell you this, it's probably incomplete. It normally will go to a company called Sherman, and usually 2 Sherman companies. And so the point is there's a whole bunch of steps to get from Credit One to LVNV. And they say January 19th, all ownership rights were transferred. And so anyway, this is to answer the question, what's a statement of claim? What's a complaint in an Alabama debt collection or debt buyer lawsuit? Hopefully this gives you a good feel for it. Now, obviously this is a small one. It could be $60,000, okay? And then we would just have a complaint. But it would look remarkably similar to what you're seeing on the screen. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.